Hey, drop.
Hey y'all, we are back with episode. I don't even know which episode number this
Super
is right
Bowl
now.
edition episode.
Super Bowl edition, you know. Been gone for a minute, you know. Life, but you know, we just wanted to talk a little bit about what we seeing, who we like, who we taking for the Super Bowl. Talk about a few of the trades going on in the NBA, a few things like that. Just a couple different things, and talk about the halftime performance and, you know, what we hope to see.
Bendito Bowl.
But first thing first, I feel like the Pats gonna win. Whether the NFL got a storyline or not, that's another story. But you know, Stephon Diggs, Cardi B, you got Bad Bunny performing. I feel like Cardi B probably gonna end up coming out on one of the songs with Bad Bunny, but that's just me, and that's hopeful thinking. I hope she do. But more importantly, it's a hard pick right now because you got the Seahawks defense. Seahawks defense is amazing, but a lot of teams that had amazing defense, when it was time for the defense to really step up and do what they had to do, it's not even that it always was feeling. It was like the defense was carrying, but the offense was, you know, stuck. So I don't know. I'm picking the Pats, and I'm hoping Stephon Diggs could get his ring, and it'll be a cool comeback story, especially coming off his injury and everything like that. And, you know, people counting players out, they get injured. So, you know, I mean, I hope he get his, you know, and Drake May, of course, and everybody else.
I want the Seahawks to win through and through, but I was always a Stephon Diggs fan since Buffalo. I wanted him and Josh Allen to get it. So I honestly don't care who wins. It's more of I want Stephon to get his ring, but if the Seahawks win, I won't be mad. That's where I'm going with it. So whoever wins to me. It's a win-win for me because Stephon get his ring or the Seahawks win, either or. But Stephon did say he got to get his ring first before Cardi B get her ring.
So I feel like, you know, again, I don't want to throw no, you know, but I feel like what more ratings could they get, right? I don't even know if divorce and everything is finalized with Offset or whatever the case may be. But still, you know, it's no harm in proposing. But it's just like, imagine that, you know what I mean? Stephon Diggs had from a nice little 60-yard game, one touchdown.
I don't think
they win, and then, you know,
Travis Kelce did it after the Super Bowl.
He's engaged, though?
I didn't even know. Yeah.
He should have did it after Super Bowl.
Yeah, so I think that's something that Stephon Diggs is going to do. He's going to have, like, that Super Bowl moment where, and after they win.
A lot of people, regardless or not, they're definitely going to be tuning in for football, but a lot of Cardi B fans going to be watching just to see Cardi B there. So it's like, imagine him winning, and then he be like, I told you I got to get mine first, and then he, like, come on now, you know what I mean? But that's just, you know what I mean? And then
it's going to be even more odds with Bad Bunny. Everybody, most of the people I know, especially the females, is
a lot of the Latino community going to watch.
Bad
Bunny. And then you got he said he was going to wear a dress, but I feel like he was trolling. I don't know. We're going to see. I mean, I'm not against it, you know, do your thing. But, yeah, so we got that pretty much.
You seen that thing for the Grammys? He couldn't, I don't know if it was true or not. He couldn't perform. He couldn't be touched. Like, the NFL has strict rules for him going into the Grammys. Like, he couldn't be touched. He couldn't shake hands.
They probably don't want him to get sick.
Yeah.
Nothing else.
I don't know if it was true or not, but, like, I've seen some clips on Instagram where it's like,
yeah, you know, once you sign
people would come up to him to, like, give him a fob, and he'll go like this and, like, shake his own hand, but, like, he'll, like, shake his head towards them. So it's like, I heard it was, like, contract things with the NFL where, like, he couldn't really do nothing at the Grammys because,
I mean, at least he moving like that off a contract. I'll be moving like that sometime and I ain't even got no contract. But other than that, you know, I hope nobody get hurt. You know, that's like the main thing. And then I can't wait to see everybody else do it next year. But it's definitely gonna be a good Super Bowl. You got Sam Darnold versus Drake May. It's gonna be interesting. It's gonna be I know it's gonna be celebrity packed. It's going to be a crazy Super Bowl, crazy crowd. You know, I'm ordering my wings and my pizza from now. I might make it, honestly, because if you ordering pizza, Domino's, whatever, you going to be eating for the last kickoff for the game.
I mean, after the game.
So you better off ordering it in the morning, let it be a little cold, throw it in the oven or something, heat it back up. But
right after that, we going to All-Star Weekend.
Yeah, other than that, basketball. We talking about basketball. You got James Harden on Cleveland Cavaliers now. A lot of people calling it the Adidas backcourt. You got him, you got Donovan Mitchell, and a lot of people speculating that they're trying to get the team ready for a LeBron return. But definitely want to see how the NBA is after the All-Star break, because after the All-Star break is definitely going to be different. And the Wizards, I really like their game plan right now, honestly, if you ask me, because they're not even planning for this year. They're really planning for, the future. Mm-hmm. And if, can't build a future around AD because he be getting hurt a little bit, you at least planning for the next 2 years and have you a nice contender. A lot of good young people over there. Yeah, you got Trae Young. And then a lot of the ballers that they got on the Wizards is actually nice, even though they don't got no big name. If you just watch the Wizard game, you can see they got some ballers over there. So
speaking of that, do you think that Dallas actually won the trade now after, because they traded Luka, they got AD, but now that they traded AD, they got way more pieces. So you feel like that was something that they did and planned for the future, or you think it was just something that they just...
I feel like Dallas probably knew the whole time that they was going to get Cooper Flag. The only thing I kind of dislike, I feel like it's easier to find a good guard or a good small forward right now than it is to find a good big. So it's trading him away is kind of but at the same time, it kind of gives Cooper Flag room to make it his team, in totality. Granted, you got Kyrie Irving still there, but again, Kyrie Irving just got to make Cooper Flag better, because Cooper Flag already scores. A lot of the games when they was out, he'll drop 30.
Funny thing is,
so it's
all three of them never played together.
Yeah, that's kind of how it was with the Brooklyn Nets with James Harden, Kyrie Irving, Kevin Durant. So, I do feel like Cooper Flag going to be able to, take the Mavericks where they need to be. They just got to really go hard on finding them a big and taking advantage of trying to get a big that, there's just a lot of stuff going on in the NBA right now. You got Chris Paul going to the Raptors, even though they told him, he don't have to come.
Yeah, they're going to trade him.
It's just it's just one of those things,
At the time of this recording, he'll be traded by tomorrow. I promise you.
I feel like, honestly, he better off just getting into the coach position. I feel like a lot of the players probably respect it, but the coaches probably feel slighted a little bit. But a lot of these coaches, not great coaches, so it's how do you feel slighted by a point guard that, granted, he never won a championship, but he definitely played basketball at the highest caliber, and he led the NBA and assists before, I'm sure, and all types of
I think he should do
stuff.
He should try to go back to Charlotte. Granted, it was the Bobcats or whatever.
Because there's a lot of young people on the Charlotte.
I feel like he should end off where he started. He's mostly known in that Charlotte Hornets jersey. Granted, he got traded around everywhere as he got older, but I feel like he should do the same thing, kind of what LeBron is about to do. Because in my opinion, LeBron is going back to Cleveland.
He might. I can't say for sure it's gonna be next year, but I feel like even if at max he probably got 2.
Nah, I feel like
I feel like he might have 2. I feel like it honestly probably depend on Bryce. I feel like he probably gonna play that one more, see what Bryce do. If Bryce do good and Bryce is, a top.
I think he got 2 more seasons in him after this.
Yeah, because granted, LeBron is LeBron. LeBron could be playing 40-year-old basketball and still play like the young person that they're he got a promising future. You got a lot of young prospects that play that average 12, 5, 3, and they're that's a good game. He only going to get better. LeBron could give you that right now, easy, without trying.
I feel like he's going to base it off of next season. I feel like he's going to go back to Cleveland next year, and based on the season that he have, whether they make the finals and lose, he might just run it back one more time, versus if they don't make the playoffs at all, he's going to be
he also could be waiting on the expansion for the NBA and just be once they got it, or if they give him a confirmation, it's going to come in 2028, then he'll be all right, whatever, I'm going to give myself a year off or something before.
He going to own the team. I feel like once that expansion...
I don't think he's going to play, but I'm saying he probably going to be all right, I want to go into the owner role, but if y'all not about to do it yet, he probably I'll give you, That's why I feel like if they say, 2028 or something, then he'll be all right, whatever, F it. I'll take 2027.
I feel like they're going to do it sooner rather than later, because the WNBA got 4 teams in a matter of 2 years. They got the Valkyries, They got the
Golden State.
That's the
Golden State
Raptors. Yeah, I'm tweaking. Golden State is the Valkyries, but they got the
Toronto team.
That's I believe that's the Tempo. Or and they got the Fire. The Fire might be Portland.
Only thing I wish they put a little more into the names. Like, it ain't got to be like the octopus, this, but it's like they give it the most simple name.
I think the Fire, I could be wrong, but I feel like the Fire was definitely, the Portland Fire, I believe they was definitely a team before in the WNBA.
And they revamped.
Yeah, so they got rid of the team, so I feel like, I could be wrong, but I believe that's just the old team name and they bringing them back to Portland. Yeah. But like we said, the WNBA is quickly expanding, so I feel like the NBA is 10 steps ahead of the WNBA, so I feel like they're gonna start expanding quickly.
Honestly, too, I feel like the NBA is, I definitely want them to get more money, but I feel like the NBA right now, smart in a sense, just a little bit, because they got the women playing with, that hunger, that fire, and I feel like once the bag finally do come and, drop in the WNBA, I just hope that they still play with the same spark, and I feel like that's the thing. With the NBA, it's like, because you got players that play like, and they still within like 10 minutes, you got this, and they kind of choose when and when they don't want to play. I feel like the WNBA, they kind of like more like, we got this many games. We can't even, in the NBA, person to sit out 10 games, but I got 72 more games. In the WNBA, you can't sit out 10 games. You're going to miss so much of it, like, unless you actually hurt. You sit out for 10 games, you're going to miss so much of the season that it's going to be like, it's going to hurt you more than anything. In the NBA, you sit out 10 games, you come back and you cook. It's still a big deal. Nobody want to miss 10 games, but it's like, I feel like that's the problem with the NBA. You got so much players that feel like, take a rest for 2 years and all that. But, I don't know. The NBA is just, and all this other stuff is just a big old thing. And I feel like it's harder to, I don't feel like I've seen people get really traded in the NFL, especially mid-season. Not like that.
That's the thing with the NBA. I feel like the NBA, not to say it like that, but I feel like they wait till this last 2 days, the trade deadline, and they just start.
Because you just sitting there on the bench, like even Jalen Jackson, he's sitting on the bench looking up like, I'm leaving. Like, you don't even. Like, you getting all those millions, but at the same time, you got no say in nothing. Like, you literally just a piece on the board. You wake up tomorrow, you going to Utah, and you just been in Miami this whole time.
The ball going to Utah.
You know what I mean? Yeah, it's like, granted for him, go to Cleveland, from Cleveland to Utah, it won't be too crazy. House-wise, though, he probably could get him a big house in Utah, but even that, it's like, you gotta find somewhere to live. Julius Randle case, I doubt Minnesota gonna move him anytime soon. And I saw him and his wife building a house out there, because his wife, she kind of just want to stay, because she like, I couldn't get no house this big in New York. So,
yeah.
But it's just crazy. It's definitely crazy. I can't wait to see what happens. You got till tomorrow at 3 p.m. I feel like a lot more stuff gonna go on. That last day of the trade deadline, people just start firing away. Even if the trades don't go through, just seeing the trade packages that was packaged together, hopeful that they're going to get somebody who's like, you was willing to throw away the whole team. So, I'm definitely interested to see what the Knicks going to do, put together to try to get Giannis. I personally feel like it's probably going to be McBride, Cat. I just hope it's not OG. But, me personally, I wouldn't mind if it's like Bridges, Cat, McBride. But other than that, I kind of like everybody else. Send a couple picks. I do like Clarkson. I don't know. That's just me, though.
I don't feel like Giannis is going to get traded. I feel like he'll end up leaving in free agency, because we all know Giannis don't want to be in Milwaukee. But I feel like no team is, I don't know. A lot of teams would give up what they got for Giannis, but I feel like Milwaukee wants too much for Giannis.
Yeah.
And like we was talking about earlier, if his brother is involved with the contract or whatever, a lot of teams isn't going to want his brother.
Yeah, but at the same time, you're a superstar caliber player like Giannis, just to give his brother $1.4 million, it's like,
for somebody that's never going to play.
It's a lot, but that's why if I'm a team that's trading for Giannis, I'm going to make his brother do something. Whether it's the scrap minutes or not, Whether you make him you know what I mean? In the NBA back in the day, they used to have the one player that go out there and foul everybody, and they didn't really care. And they wanted you to go foul, especially at the end of the game. So I ain't saying going out there and send him like that, but I'm saying find something to use him for, you know? A lot of teams figure out what to use Patrick Beverly for, and he ended up becoming a key piece in a lot of these teams, you know what I mean? Especially when he was in Minnesota. He was like one of those players that people was excited to see on the floor and get minutes. So, I don't know. Definitely going to be interesting to see how that plays out, but more than that, you know, NFL definitely going to be exciting to see how the Super Bowl plays out, because a lot of these games, especially in the playoffs, been exciting. Like even the Bears versus the Packers, how that game just ended up flipping at the end. It's just, you just can't tell with football. That's why I'm not even 100% convinced yet that it's rigged, because like how you can even predict throwing an 80-yard ball down the, you know what I mean? But I'm tuning in, he tuning in, we tuning in, hope y'all tuning in, and definitely tune in to more episodes of ESOP. We definitely gonna try to keep it up a little bit more, do a lot better. You know, they were doing construction on the studio. You see the studio coming together nicely. And if you haven't, like, comment, share, and subscribe. And you know, who knows what turn the podcast might take. You know, we might, you know, get a little more personal on the podcast, might not. But for now, we definitely gonna stay in tune with y'all and the sports, and just like that, another episode might be first episode of season 2, or might be the last episode of season 1. Either way, it's gonna be another episode and another season regardless. Thank you.
Won't keep y'all waiting this time.